We want to ensure that domestic workers have legal rights and protection on the jobs because the work that we do is real work.
You're expected to work sometimes 60 plus hours, sleeping in someone's home.
There was a lot of abuse, not being able to get time to sit down and take a break, not getting time to even have lunch.
A lot of people don't know that there are so many millions of domestic workers across the United States, 2.5 million. Most of the people who are involved in this work are women.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
And mostly women of color.
And immigrant
and
women.
Immigrant women.
Right.
And immigrant women of color.
That's
Yes.
right. Domestic work has been invisible and it's done behind closed doors. Many workers, they experience sexual harassment, they experience abuse. A lot of this industry, workers are undocumented. They're fearful to come forward. They're fearful because taking care of their family depends on having a job.
When I first started in the industry, it was the toughest for me. There were times with scheduling that was a problem because you're expected to work sometimes 60 plus hours, sleeping in someone's home. There are times where you have to, be up early. You could never tell when you're up, when you're down, and they could call you at any time, day or night. And being in their home, you want to be respectful, and sometimes you don't even have a choice.
For me, of course, there are times that I was treated as a gardener. There were times that I was treated as a dog walker. I was always hired as a nanny, but I was expected to be the house manager, a cleaner. So yes, there was a lot of abuse, not being able to get time to sit down and take a break. Not getting time to even have lunch, because most times you would sit down, you would be working and eating. Working long hours. Yeah, that's a lot of what I endured in my 20 years as a nanny.
It's a lot of work, and
Sure.
you're doing it on your own inside of somebody else's home. How do you counter that isolation? How do you make sure that you're well taken care of, even though you're behind somebody else's closed door?
Well, we know that nannies work in isolation. They're not visible. Working with the National Domestic Workers Alliance, that movement that has been fighting to ensure that that work is visible and that work is seen as real work. It's difficult because society has not embraced domestic work as real work, and so we're pushing and we're fighting to ensure that society, that legislators, that politicians value this work as real work, because that is the work of the future. At some point we all will need care, and we want to ensure that domestic workers have legal rights and protection on the jobs because the work that we do is real work.
This is really important work. And, I think a lot of people don't know that domestic work is actually rooted in the legacy of slavery in this country. And it has a lot to do with how it shapes conditions in the home and how you get treated as a worker. And in this industry, one of the things that has shaped it is that there's kind of no rules. And that's a result of what happened between a pretty racist compromise, right?
Sure.
Between Southern lawmakers and
Sure.
union leaders.
That's right.
Who actually excluded domestic workers and agricultural workers
Yeah.
from rights and from rules that
Right.
would help protect you, right?
It is so important for legislation to be put in place to protect domestic workers, to protect the nannies and caregivers and housekeepers and house cleaners who do this work.
You know, it takes a special kind of people to do what we do. A special kind.
Yes.
We have that patience that nobody else has. You know, to be able to do that job, it's rewarding, but we want to be able to be comfortable and happy. When we don't have to worry about things at home and family and everybody else, we could do what we have to do and more so.
It's important. And that's why we're advocating and speaking directly to Congress, actually, to pass the first National Domestic Worker Bill of Rights. We cannot wait any longer. Women need to be valued. Domestic workers need legal protection, and they deserve the same rights that other workers deserve. They deserve to be valued and respected. We want them to see the value that women play in the home and in the workplace, because this work is done by women's work and by women, and that's one of the reasons that it was, apart from racism, this work is done by women, and it was not seen as a valued work. And so we want politicians out there to stand behind us as women and to stand behind care work and to recognize that care work is the work of the future. To understand that this work is not going anywhere. It's going to increase because more people are needing care.
And it can't be done by robots.
It cannot be done by robots. And it's done by women. Domestic workers are human beings. We deserve the same rights as other workers. We are not just immigrant women. We are Black women. We are immigrant women. But we are human beings. And so we want politicians to understand that and to recognize that we're doing valuable work, that we deserve paid sick leave. We deserve paid time off. We deserve to be free from sexual harassment.